Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining. Hello, Jennifer Reyes. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, I'm fine.
Okay, how is the weather in your country?
Sorry.
How's the weather in your country?
I'm
It's
actually in
okay.
no.
Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining.
No worries.
So, thank you for joining Jennifer Reyes, Khalid Al Sufyani. How's the weather in your country?
It's beautiful. I'm actually now in Bali.
Okay, okay. And how's the weather in your country, Jennifer Reyes?
Here in Manila, it's raining outside.
Oh, okay. Thank you for joining, Jivit Ranam. Okay, so we will now begin the conference. Welcome to the Eurasia Research Online International Conference. Eurasia Research Online Conference. Event is about to start. Please wait, we begin shortly. Today we have participation and presentation from 8 countries around the world: South Africa, India, United States, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and China. We are broadcasting this conference on Facebook Live on multiple pages of Eurasia Research. The links for the live sessions are shared in the chat box. So before I start with the conference, I would like to introduce Eurasia Research to all of you. With over more than 1 million satisfied members and associates spread across the globe, Eurasia Research is a scholarly association who have been working for nearly a decade. Eurasia Research has organized several successful international conferences, workshops, and training programs at various reputed institutions and grand venues. Eurasia has been tirelessly working for research world and have not stopped their endeavors even during COVID era, and have presented research community with online platform which was safe and convenient method to continue their passion. We are an international community of researchers, practitioners, students, and educationists who aim to bring together worldwide researchers and professionals, encourage intellectual development, and to create opportunities for networking and collaboration. These objectives are achieved through academic networking, meetings, conference, workshops, projects, research publication, academic awards, and scholarship. Some of our key highlights are: we provide scholarship to deserving candidate to promote student and research scholar to participate in the international conference. Young Researcher Scholarship is provided in the form of a full registration fee waiver. We have vast experience of publishing papers for more than 7 years. Our associated journal publish original papers, review papers, conceptual framework, analytical and simulation models, case studies, empirical research, technical notes, and book reviews. We cater to more than 30 plus themes in the area of teaching and education, and have registered ISSN and have following renowned indexing: Google Scholar, Crosscheck, Authenticate, Crossref, the Keepers Registry, Crypt, Portico, Road Directory of Open Access scholarly resources, OAI PMH registered data provider, PKP index. We will soon be applying for Scopus too. We have a wide network of 100 plus internationally acclaimed keynote across the globe who share their knowledge and guidance with our participants with open hands. We have a large number of committee members and advisors who support us and guide us through their next expert opinions and decision making capabilities. We could not have thought of reaching here without them. We also encourage our participants to connect with more than 15K plus followers on our social media platform where they can share their research and interest. Join our Facebook group and to be a part of the discussion by researchers and academicians. We also have several collaborations with universities, college, institute to better serve all interested and like-minded intellectuals. With great enthusiasm and pride, we would like to request our participants to join the benefits of our lifetime membership in just USD 55. We have over 10,000 plus members from across the globe. We would like to share some of our participants' experience with you also. Okay, so moving ahead with the conference. My name is Vishakha Dhand. I will be hosting today's conference. So our SSHRA Terra president is Associate Professor Marek Mitihan, Department of Management, Faculty of Organization and Management, Lodz University of Technology, Poland. We would like to share his views.
Hello everyone, my name is Marek Matejun, originally associated with the University of Łódź, Poland. I am the president of Social Science and Humanities Research Association. On behalf of my colleagues, advisory board and our members, it is a pleasure and an honor to welcome you to our international community. Social Science and Humanities Research Association, SSHRA, is promoted by Eurasia Research and aims to bring together worldwide researchers and professionals, encourage intellectual development, and create opportunities for networking and scientific collaboration in the field of social science and humanities. These objectives are achieved through academic networking, meetings, workshops, projects, scientific publication, academic awards and scholarships. We create wonderful opportunities for sharing knowledge, research results and discussion at our interdisciplinary conferences organized in Asia, Europe and Africa, International Conference on Social Science and Humanities, as well as at the International Conference on Business, Economics, Language, Law and Psychology. We closely cooperate with internationally recognized universities and research organizations as our institutional partners. For our members, we offer inspiring scientific events, team-building activities, strong social media platform for networking, young researcher scholarships, as well as opportunities for publications in international journals. The driving force behind our success is the diversity of members and international advisory board who provide inspiration, ideas, efforts, and drive collaborations. Scholars, researchers, professionals, academic teachers, and students are warmly invited to become a member of SSHRA and join our ever-growing network, working for the benefit of research and society with the spirit of knowledge sharing, mutual respect, and growth. Following these values, we kindly invite you to join our community and collaboration with us. As a member of SSHRA, you will be a part of progressive, comprehensive research association and play an absolutely essential role in helping us to enrich our scientific activities, maintain our long-standing commitment to the development of social science and humanities, and enhance our global impact. Thank you, and welcome to SSHRA International Community. Connect, collaborate, and co-create an outstanding future with us.
Thank you for watching the video.
I think that my very strong motivation for the research is that we
So moving ahead with the conference. Our eminent speaker is Dr. Ruth Wong, Department of English Language Education, the Education University of Hong Kong. Let's see what she has to share.
I think that my very strong motivation for the research is that we need to give teachers you know give teachers a good perspective on how they can improve their teaching. Because, you know, when teachers are more experienced, they tend to be, they tend to believe in what they have been doing, and they hold on to their teacher philosophies for a long time without changing it. So it will be very important that they always think about whether what they're doing are right or correct and even up to date. So because the longer we teach, the younger our students will be, right? So it will be very important that we always keep ourselves abreast with the ongoing education setting. So that will be my motivation. I think the most important thing for a young researcher is to make sure they are in love with research. That's number one, because if they don't like researching, they don't want to find results and ways out for a problem, then there will be, it will be very boring. It will be a career killer for them if they don't fall in love with what they're doing. So I think that's number one. And then number two is they need to know how to find out the solutions and the answers for their question. That is to say that they need to refine their research methods. They need to know very well how to find solutions and answers for their research question. So research method skills will be number two. And then number three is they need to know the significance of their study. What they're doing should be significant enough for the readers to know, to understand, and to do better. Otherwise, there's no point of doing a research because no one is going to bother. about what you're doing, right? So I think that creating impact, creating a significance for the society, for education is paramount. That's what I think. Well, I always like Eurasia's research conferences. I attended, I think, at least 3 or 4 of them, and I had been a keynote. I think 2 now so far, and I had very, very good experiences with the association. It's very positive. The participants were very positive, and they were very eager to learn. And also, I particularly like the motivating atmosphere the association created for the participants. For example, they have awards for the best presenters, and now that I'm giving another award as well. So I think that it's very, very encouraging for researchers, and also there is a very positive environment for the young researchers to learn from the more experienced ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank you
this
for watching the video.
I find to be really interesting from
So, moving ahead with the conference. Our second eminent speaker for this conference is Bonnie Russian, Department of Military and Strategic Studies, United States Air Force Academy, Colorado Springs, United States. Let's check her views.
Yeah, so this type of research I find to be really interesting from 2 standpoints, really. One, in today's modern age, we are inundated with media communications, whether we realize it or not. It is 4 a.m. here, but I've already been on my phone. I've already looked at social media. And so those influences, whether we realize it or not, are impacting our decision-making and actions. And it's only going to get worse with generative AI and deepfakes and all of the algorithms built to serve you the information that would impact you or that you would engage in the most. And so I wanted to look at it through that lens, and that's information warfare when you're speaking from a military standpoint, because you are trying to influence somebody's actions, and that could be honestly terrifying if you are engaging with military leaderships, policymakers, and leaders at highest levels. The second reason for this motivation was the teaching aspect. So as an educator, I wanted to know, is education a way to help mitigate all of those influences? And I found out it does help. It works. So I'm a young researcher too. Just go for it. Ask for help. Ask early and often. You'd be surprised the amount of people and support you can gain. That people are willing to help. People at university, people online. You can find mentors pretty much anywhere, and you can ask. Just ask, and people will help. It's not going to be perfect. In fact, if it is perfect, or if you have all the right answers, it may not even be like rigorous research. So it's going to be hard. Just keep going. I loved the conference. Everybody was very welcoming, very nice. Everybody had a chance to speak for as long as they wanted. And I felt that flexibility that was built in really let people talk about the details as in-depth as they wanted, ask as many questions as they liked. And it was so amazing to meet people from all around the world, being an international conference.
So today's conference schedule is: first session will be keynote talk Then the second session will be team activity, and the third session will be technical talks. So our conference schedule is divided into 3 stages. I would like to request you, all the participants, to rename your Zoom account with full name in English. This will help us to record your presence. You may ask your questions related to the presentation in the chat session while the presentations are going on. Kindly note that all the certificates, receipts, proceedings will be sent to the participants within a week on their email IDs. The proceeding will include all the papers and abstract accepted for the conference. Moving ahead with the publication process. The publication process starts once the registration process is complete. The author needs to send their papers, consent forms, and review details on the email ID convener@eurasiaresearch.info. The review reports will be sent to the author once the review process is over. The final stage of publication starts after receiving the revised paper from the authors. Please note that the publication process takes around 50 days after the conference date if all the editorial guidelines are followed within the deadline. So, moving ahead with the conference, our first keynote speaker is Dr. Deva Putu Vinsu Vardhana, neurosurgeon, lecturer, Universities Udhana, Denpasar, Bali, Indonesia, and his topic is potential MLC 901 adjuvant treatment for spinal cord injury. Dr. Deva Putu Vinsu Vardhana completed her medical degree from Udayana University, Bali, Indonesia in 2009. In 2015, she was working as a neurosurgery specialist in the neurosurgery department and as a medical faculty of Airlangga University, Surabaya, Indonesia in 2015. She has completed her clinical neurosurgery and spine surgery fellowship at Brain and Spine Clinic, Gleneagles Hospital and MT Alvrina Hospital, Singapore in 2016, and clinical spine fellowship at Center of Minimally Invasive Spinal Surgery, Shin Yurigaoka General Hospital, Kanagawa, Japan. In 2017, she completed clinical fellowship for skull-based surgery from the Department of Neurosurgery, Osaka City University, Graduate School of Medicine, Osaka, Japan. She has been a neurospine consultant since 2021. She is appointed as an editorial board of Ganesha Medicine Journal in 2021. She has also been a reviewer board member in the following journals: Journal Kedokteran Dan Kesehatan Indonesia, JKKI 2019, Neurologico Spinale Medico, Bali Medical Journal 2019. For some unforeseen circumstances, she is not here to attend the conference. So, moving ahead with the conference, our second keynote speaker is Dr. Jennifer Paul Reyes, Associate Professor, College of Nursing, Pamansana NG Langsod NG Manila, Philippines, and her topic is Nurses' Knowledge and Skill in Safe and Quality Care for Patients with Spinal Cord Injury. Dr. Jennifer P. Reyes completed her Bachelor of Science in Nursing at St. Church College, her Master of Arts in Nursing major in Nursing Administration at the Philippine College of Health and Science, and her Doctor of Education major in Educational Administration at the Parmatsan NG, Langsod NG, Manila, and currently she is taking her second doctorate degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing at Philippine Women's University. She worked as a staff nurse to head nurse in the clinical area for 6 years Before joining the academy in June 2004, she rose from the rank and file from instructor third to assistant professor third to associate professor second, handling different nursing subjects in the classroom and clinical areas. She assumed various administrative positions as follows: designated as a nursing laboratory coordinator to college secretary to associate dean. In 2014 to 2016, she was appointed as the dean of the college nursing for the undergraduate BSN and graduate programs MAN. She was selected as one of the young leaders by the National Academy of Science and Technology, Philippines Department of Science and Technology, to attend and participate in the Future Health Leader Workshop last November 2015. She was also invited as one of the HEIS representatives and served as Department of Health Partners on the following DOH Academy activity programs. First one is DOH First Partners Forum at Manila Pavilion Hotel, UNAVE, Manila on June 13, 2016. DOH Second Partners Forum at Levi's Hotel, Clark, Pampanga on October 26, 2016. DOH Academy Orientation and Consultative Meetings and Silah Garden Hotel, Pesci City on February 28, 2017. She is also one of the core team members of the health program in partnership with the Rock of Ages Ministry and Pamatsan NG Langsod NG Manila College of Nursing from January 2018 up to present time. She does volunteer work of giving health education, life, spirit seminars, gift giving activities to persons deprived of liberty, prisoners, and in the different prisons in Metro Manila, Philippines. Moreover, she served invited as the advisor panelist during oral defense of undergraduate and graduate program, thesis and dissertation proposals and final defense under PLMCN and PLMCED and an international paper review members, GRDS Publishing, and an invited member of External Advisory Board, USLS Journal, University of St. LA, Salem. She is also a researcher, oral presenter, invited keynote speaker, and conference chair at different international conferences and has published research paper in local and international journals. She has also co-authored published book title of publication Professional Education for Educators Across All Professions second published research paper edition co-author ISBN 9786218084452 and the title of publication Alcivad Lifelong Learning Series Research Procedure Manual, second edition ISBN 9786218084452. Currently, she is a member of PLMCN College Research Committee and NARS Healthcare Workers CPD and Research Committee. She is also a member of different professional organizations, lifetime member Healthcare and Biological Science Research Association, lifetime member Philippine Nurse Association, INC-PNA member, Eurasia Research INC member Professional Organization of Researchers and Educators of Philippines, member core team ANG NARS Health Worker Coalition, member Philippine Association of Nursing Authors of Clinical, Community Education and Administration, member Unified Manila plus chapter member Association of Higher Education, Multidisciplinary Research, member Association of Nursing, Service Administration of the Philippines, INC. So let's see the video.
A blessed day to everyone. On behalf of the principal author, Dr. Soledad Beloria of the Philippine Orthopedic Center, Quezon City, Philippines, and co-author, Dr. Maria Cecilia O. Martinez of the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila College of Nursing, I, Dr. Jennifer P. Reyes, also from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila College of Nursing, Manila, Philippines, is grateful and honored to present our paper entitled Nurses' Knowledge and Skills in Safety and Quality Care for Patients with Spinal Cord Injury. To begin with, safe and quality nursing care has been increasingly in focus during the past 10 to 15 years. As provider of direct patient care, nurses hold a central position in inpatient hospital care, especially for patients who have decreased or absence of movement, sensation, and body organ function, which occur because of compulsion, incision, or contusion caused by the spinal cord injury or SCI. The damage to the spinal cord can be prostrating and have a catastrophic impact on the patient, such as varying degrees of paralysis depending on the level of injury, loss of motor and sensory reflexes, which also include bowel, bladder, and sexual dysfunction. Most spinal cord injury result from direct trauma to the vertebral column. It affects the spinal cord's ability to send and receive messages to and from the brain. The disruptions impair the system that controls sensory, motor, and autonomic functions below the injury level. Functions lost usually stems from a contusion or compromised blood flow to the injured part of the cord, such as from subluxation, fracture, dislocation, and hyperflexion or extension injury. The result of SCI, according to Alisadi et al., bring not only damage to independence and physical function, but also include many complications from the injury. It could even lead to serious disability for the patient, resulting in the loss of work, which brings psychosocial and economic problems. It takes a long period for its treatment and rehabilitation, which is also expensive and exhausting. This study utilized the sequential explanatory mixed method research design to determine the knowledge and skills of nurses in the provision of safety and quality nursing care to patients with spinal cord injury as the basis for enhanced training intervention programs. Data gathered were validated by 2 experts in nursing and 1 expert in psychology, and reliability tested using Cronbach alpha coefficient analysis. Frequency, percentage, weighted mean, ranking, Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis, and Spearman-Rowe were used for the statistical treatment. To determine the problem encountered by nurses in providing safe and quality care to patients with spinal cord injury, structured interview were used and then subjected to LISI data analysis method. Lastly, ethical and legal aspects were considered during the data collection. For the result, first, the nurse's knowledge in providing safe and quality care for spinal cord injury patients. Proper positioning, turning, and lifting. Table 1 presents the level of knowledge of the nurse respondent in providing safe and quality care as to proper positioning, turning, and lifting with an overall mean score of 3.76, interpreted as extremely knowledgeable. This finding can be attributed to the fact that all the items listed in the table above are visually posted around the department. In addition, the signages about the schedule of positioning, turning, and lifting is also visually posted around the ward. This finding is supported by the works of the American Nurses Today in 2016, which stated that competent care for persons with spinal cord injury is necessary to address and prevent complications associated with SCI. Respiratory care. Table 2 displays the level of the knowledge of nurse respondent in providing safe and quality care as to respiratory care with an overall mean score of 3.74, interpreted as extremely knowledgeable. With this level of knowledge, the nurse respondent were equipped to handle patients with spinal cord injury in terms of respiratory care. Skin care. Table 3 showed the level of knowledge of the nurse respondent in providing safe and quality care as to skin care with an overall mean score of 3.75, interpreted as extremely knowledgeable. This finding means that the nurse respondent knew that the skin of a patient with spinal cord injury is vulnerable to skin breakdown and that loss of sensations to hot or cold temperature and pain below the level of injury can happen if they do not know how to take care for them. Bowel care. Table 4 illustrates the level of knowledge of nurse respondent in providing safe and quality care as to bowel care with an overall mean score of 3.53, interpreted as extremely knowledgeable. This finding means that the nurse respondent knew that damage to the spinal cord has a great effect on the functions of the large bowel, such as that loss of sensory and motor function will cause an individual to have bowel elimination problem and that prolonged constipation, if not properly addressed, will expose the patient to secondary complications which might aggravate patient's health condition. Bladder care. Table 5 displayed the level of knowledge of the nurse respondent in providing safe and quality care as to bladder care, with an overall mean score of 3.59 interpreted as extremely knowledgeable. This finding means that the nurse respondent knew that during post-spinal cord injury, the normal functions of the urinary systems may be affected. Preventions of complications. Table 6 shows the level of knowledge of the nurse respondent in providing safe and quality care as to prevention of complications, with an overall mean score of 3.52 interpreted as extremely knowledgeable. This finding means that the nurse respondent knew about how to prevent complications of the spinal cord injury. Next is the nurse's skills in providing safe and quality care for spinal cord injury patient. Proper positioning, turning, and lifting. Table 7 present the extent of practice of the nurse's skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of proper positioning, turning, and lifting, with an overall mean score of 3.71 interpreted as very high extent of the practice. This means that the nurse respondent have been practicing their skills in proper positioning, turning, and lifting. This skills is a type of pressure injury prevention strategy and is a primary role of nurse in preventing pressure ulcer. The implication for this is that patients with spinal cord injury will feel comfortable and can be encouraged to cooperate in their treatment regimen. Respiratory care. Table 8 display the extent of the practice of nurses' skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of respiratory care, with an overall mean score of 3.64 interpreted as very high extent of practice. This means that the nurse respondent have been practicing their skills in respiratory care. This is traced from the fact that nurses need to stabilize the airway of their patient as a priority management intervention. This is because spinal cord injury patients are highly vulnerable to respiratory distress and pulmonary embolus due to aspiration or decreased innervation of the diaphragm and altered functioning of the intercostal muscles. Skin care. Table 9 shows the extent of practice of the nurse's skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of skin care, with an overall mean score of 3.61 interpreted as a very high extent of practice. This finding means that in terms of skills or doing tasks for the prevention and management of pressure ulcer or sore, the nurse respondent have been well practiced. Bowel care. Table 10 illustrates the extent of the practice of the nurse's skills in providing safe and quality care in terms as of to bowel care, with an overall mean score of 3.49 interpreted as high extent of practice. This finding means that the nurse respondent practiced the skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of bowel care, but not to the greatest extent. This has the same rationale as to the skin care in the genital area, where nurses prioritize other complex needs that patient with a spinal cord injury must be addressed, which is detrimental to the quality of life of the patient. Although the nurse respondent have extreme knowledge as resulted in Table 5, they knew that damage to the spinal cord has a great effect on the functions of the large bowel, that loss of sensory and motor function will cause an individual to have bowel elimination problem, and that prolonged constipation, if not properly addressed, will expose the patient in secondary complications, which might aggravate patient health condition. The extent of practice of the skills about it was not that great. This means that it is not a priority assessment done by the nurses with their patient with spinal cord injury. Bladder care. Table 12 shows the extent of the practice of nurses' skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of bladder care, with an overall mean score of 3.69 interpreted as very high extent of practice. This indicates that the nurse respondent performed their tasks about bladder care to their patient with spinal cord injury, such as intervention to facilitate urinary eliminations and prevent other complications. The table also presents that almost all items under this table are rated as very high extent of practice. This is because bladder care is a routine task done to patients with spinal cord injury round the clock at the Philippine Orthopedic Hospital, as verbalized by the nurse respondent. Preventions of complications. Table 13 displays the extent of the practice of the nurse's skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of preventions of complications with an overall mean score of 3.53, interpreted as a very high extent of practice. The findings depict that the nurse respondents are well skilled in the art of preventing complications for their patient. With this kind of practice, these nurses can recognize the unique need of their patients, like physical, psychological, socio-economical, and implement intervention to maximize patient's outcome. Based on the aforementioned result, the following conclusions were drawn. Most of the nurses respondent belonged to the young populations. They were educated with bachelor's degree and had been in the service taking care of patients with spinal cord injury for 1 to 5 years, which have them made them attended training seminar relevant to it. This study also concluded that the nurse respondents are extremely knowledgeable in providing safe and quality care in terms of proper positioning, turning and lifting, respiratory care, skin care, bowel care, bladder care, and preventions of complication. Has a very high extent of practice of the nurse's skills in providing safe and quality care in terms of as to proper positioning, turning and lifting, respiratory care, skin care, bladder care, and preventions of complication, and a high extent of practice for bowel care. For the limitation of the study, the findings of this study must be treated with caution and may vary in other areas of the Philippines. This study only included the population of nurses at a level 3 tertiary hospital of the Department of Health. This study was based on the self-report of the nurses. After analyzing the result and upon evaluating the aforementioned conclusion, the following recommendations are given. Nurses to become aware and identify the gaps in terms of their knowledge and skills, as well as problems that confront them and their patient in terms of provision of safe and quality nursing care. Patient with spinal cord injury to trust their nurses, especially in taking care of them as they will undergo enhanced knowledge and skills for them to be able to cope while being taken care of in the hospital or even they were discharged already. Hospital administrator to use the findings of this study as a basis to evaluate the contributions of their nurses' performance, their knowledge and skill in providing safe and quality care for SCI patients to the achievement of their organizational goal. Nurse serving administrator to consider reviewing guidelines and policies on identifying and assigning nursing personnel in the ward clinical area to take care of patients with spinal cord injury. Nurse supervisor to always identify the strength and weakness of each nurse under their supervision and determine if the standard of safe and quality patient care are being complied with or being satisfied according to the needs of their patient, especially those with spinal cord injury. Nurse trainer to frequently identify the training needs of nurses so they can evaluate their learning and plan a development program to align it with the strategic directions of the organization and to address the need of its personnel and stakeholder. The Department of Health to use this study as an assessment for the technical assistance needed by the healthcare provider and considered increasing the budget allocation for tertiary health care agency that provide care to the patient with spinal cord injury to meet the costly hospitalization and future researcher to use these studies as a resource material and basis for future researches. Before I end up my presentation, I would like to acknowledge and present the following references used in the study that guided our research. With that, I thank everyone for listening. Thank you very much and have a blessed day to all.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. If any participants have any questions regarding the presentation, they can ask or they can put their query in the chat box. Okay, so moving ahead with the conference. Our second session is team activity and photo session. Let's proceed towards our team building activity. Sometimes we miss the opportunity of connection and linkage with fellow participants of the conference. This team activity is to encourage interaction among all the participants. One by one, we will share the views and the solution on the topic of the discussion, and we will be conducting a photo session during the same. So, today's topic of discussion is how miscommunication happens and how to avoid it.
Have you ever talked with a friend about a problem, only to realize that he just doesn't seem to grasp why the issue is so important to you? Have you ever presented an idea to a group, and it's met with utter confusion? Or maybe you've been in an argument when the other person suddenly accuses you of not listening to what they're saying at all. What's going on here? The answer is miscommunication, and in some form or another, we've all experienced it. It can lead to confusion, animosity, misunderstanding, or even crashing a multi-million-dollar probe into the surface of Mars. The fact is, even when face-to-face with another person, in the very same room and speaking the same language, human communication is incredibly complex. But the good news is that a basic understanding of what happens when we communicate can help us prevent miscommunication. For decades, researchers have asked what happens when we communicate. One interpretation, called the transmission model, views communication as a message that moves directly from one person to another, similar to someone tossing a ball and walking away. But in reality, this simplistic model doesn't account for communication's complexity. Enter the transactional model, which acknowledges the many added challenges of communicating. With this model, it's more accurate to think of communication between people as a game of catch. As we communicate our message, we receive feedback from the other party. Through the transaction, we create meaning together. But from this exchange, further complications arise. It's not like the Star Trek universe, where some characters can Vulcan mind meld, fully sharing thoughts and feelings. As humans, we can't help but send and receive messages through our own subjective lenses. When communicating, one person expresses her interpretation of a message, and the person she's communicating with hears his own interpretation of that message. Our perceptual filters continually shift meanings and interpretations. Remember that game of catch? Imagine it with a lump of clay. As each person touches it, they shape it to fit their own unique perceptions based on any number of variables, like knowledge or past experience, age, race, gender, ethnicity, religion, or family background. Simultaneously, every person interprets the message they receive based on their relationship with the other person and their unique understanding of the semantics and connotations of the exact words being used. They could also be distracted by other stimuli, such as traffic or a growling stomach. Even emotion might cloud their understanding. And by adding more people into a conversation, each with their own subjectivities, the complexity of communication grows exponentially. So as the lump of clay goes back and forth from one person to another, reworked, reshaped, and always changing, it's no wonder our messages sometimes turn into a mush of miscommunication. But luckily, there are some simple practices that can help us all navigate our daily interactions for better communication. 1. Recognize that passive hearing and active listening are not the same. Engage actively with the verbal and nonverbal feedback of others and adjust your message to facilitate greater understanding. 2. Listen with your eyes and ears, as well as with your gut. Remember that communication is more than just words. 3. Take time to understand as you try to be understood. In the rush to express ourselves, it's easy to forget that communication is a two-way street. Be open to what the other person might say. And finally, 4, be aware of your personal perceptual filters. Elements of your experience, including your culture, community, and family, influence how you see the world. Say, this is how I see the problem, but how do you see it? Don't assume that your perception is the objective truth. That'll help you work towards sharing a dialogue with others to reach a common understanding together.
So this was our topic of discussion. I would like to ask all the participants to share the views on the topic. Jennifer Reyes, is there anything you want to share?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me again to be one of your keynote speaker for this international research conference. For the topic, miscommunication, how it happens and how can we avoid it. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As defined, miscommunication is the failure to communicate adequately or not being able to express ideas or thoughts correctly. Inadequate communications or incorrect idea or thought expressions are example of miscommunication. It is one of the many obstacles to communication. The listener may misunderstand a miscommunicated message or word because they are unable to understand the speaker's true meaning of the message being relayed. Occasionally, it can have a cascading effect that leaves room for disagreement and other problems. That the main cause of the miscommunication might be difference in perspective between the two parties, which can result in disparity, opinion, and conclusions. That is miscommunication.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your views. Safila, Savannah, is there anything you want to share?
About miscommunication.
Yes.
I'm just gonna share miscommunication from my past experience. So
Okay.
previous, I've had a double degree in France where all the students there are very diverse from a very different background, and uh, therefore we have different styles of communication. And then, for example, when there's a problem in the group discussion, I think the Indonesians or the Asians in general tends to hides their opinion on it. However, the people from like the US, for example, they tend to be straightforward and give out their opinions on it. And sometimes when that things like that happen, the Indonesians can take their very it can be sometimes considered rude. However, in other cultures, it is not. So, yeah, I think we have to adjust our communication style to be more inclusive and general.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your views. Khalid Al Sufyani, do you want to share your views?
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Vicky Pahelvi, do you want to share your views?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Keisha, you want
I
to
think
share
I
your views?
agree. Sorry, I think I agree with Hafila Savannah Aldafa because I think cultural differences is one of the challenges in communicating since we have different culture and different approaches. So I think I agree with what Hafila said that communication should be inclusive. I think that's all from me.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your views. Vedang, do you want to share your views?
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to participate in today's conference. But truth be told, my English speak skill is not very good, but I want to try it. I think communication issues are not just about language barriers, but often due to different ways to thinking. When people are suggestive and focus on their interests, communication can fall, and consensus isn't reached. We should try to see things from other perspectives, understand their challenges, and this can reduce communications costs, avoid waste of time, and achieve effective result more quickly. These are my simple thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing your wonderful views. So, according to me, I would like to share my views on the topic. According to me, miscommunication is mainly caused by a mistake in expressing thoughts. In other words, it's a misperception by the other person. Mainly in miscommunication, the reason may vary, but the result leads to frustration and confusion for both parties involved. So I would like to request all the participants to turn on their webcam for the group activity. Okay, thank you so much. So moving ahead with the conference. We will be starting our third session. So our first presenter for this conference is Modise Alfred, Department of Language and Social Science Education, Central University of Technology, Free State, Bloemfontein, South Africa. And his topic of presentation is Integrating Social Justice and Ubuntu Pedagogy for Accounting Students, Changing Basic Education in South Africa. I would like to request to all the participants to read the abstract from the screen.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes,
Thank you, Chair.
you are most welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, so you
Thank
will
you.
be presenting live.
Yes, yes. Let me just present. Although I have the connectivity problem here, but I'll do so.
Okay.
My name, as indicated, is Modise from Central University of Technology. My topic, as it has been stated, the topic is about Ubuntu. This actually is an African, philosophy of the Ubuntu. Ubuntu Butu, according to my language. In other words, teaching of, thank you so much, teaching what you call, can you go to the next slide? Integrating social justice and Ubuntu philosophy for accounting students, changing basic education in South Africa. You can go to the next one. The term Ubuntu concept is understanding about African life, the culture of the African, the way they live, the way they treat people, the way they live with people. In other words, the teachers are responsible for, living with the learners in schools and cooperate with the learners. Can you go to the next stage? With the growing tertiary education in South Africa, the enrollment of higher education has increased at the rate of 5% in South Africa since 2000. It means after the apartheid in South Africa. But education outcomes still differ a lot across the race, which largely reflects the country historical legacy according to Martin. In post-apartheid South Africa, the education system has undergone, radical changes in the enrollment, in the accounting, students, schools, and also higher education, according to Ngwenya 2014. You can go to the next one. Ubuntu is not just an abstract concept, it influences every aspect of African life. It is expressed in the collective significant pain, dancing, and experience of grieving, celebration, sharing, and compassion. The Ubuntu is a collectivity in every nation, and man saw himself not as an individual, but as the collective. The group has more importance than the individual. Group success is valued than individual success. You can go to the next one. Other authors also, they define Ubuntu is not specific to South African situation, but also to the African context. You can go to the next one. The qualitative research was used to gather the information from limited English proficiency learners in South African schools, whereby data were collected from the learners by open-ended question and discussion about Ubuntu culture diversity, and the curriculum were discussed. You can go to the next one. The study seeks to understand the role of Ubuntu in teaching accounting into what you call the grade, 10 learners in schools as the core business of our, business in Africa. You can go to the next one. Data were collected and the following themes were identified. The first one is respect as a challenge, challenges to learners. Due to the human rights in South Africa, the interpretation of the human rights is a problem to most of the learners. The Ubuntu has no respect of one another, which inhibited trust among the teachers and the parents, whereby the learners' rights were taken into account. The next one is the discipline and behavior of the learners in the classroom. In other words, this is a challenge, but students, the teachers, they need to play a role in terms of discipline and the behavior of the learners. You can go to the next one. The next one is the social relationship. Ubuntu can play a creative role in rebuilding relationship as racial and social between the learners themselves, between the teachers themselves, between the community themselves. It means, in other words, the social relationship must be emphasized by the teachers in the classroom. The next one is forgiveness. In applying Ubuntu in the classroom, it means forgiveness, it will be there. Because sometimes the learners, they misbehave. And in that case, it means the teachers need to play a role in order to, forgive the learners and also encourage our learners to forgive other learners. The next one. These are the integration of Ubuntu late as in the curriculum, taking into account the rights, democracy, results of apartheid, trust, feel unsafe, social challenges, and the political access. These are the aspects that were identified during the interviews of the participants. You can go to the next one. The study stated that defining the terms of Ubuntu and the curriculum to lay foundation for our discussion about Ubuntu and how it would relate to the relationship to the Ubuntu. Department of Basic Education Policy explained the role of the players in the curriculum in terms of Ubuntu teachers, learners, parents, and others. Ubuntu, cultural diversity, and social curriculum in Africa. Integration of Ubuntu into the curriculum is very important in order to make sure that the learners, they obtain the best curriculum. You can go to the next one. So in other words, in conclusion, I would like to emphasize that when we teach the learners in schools, teachers, either is the head of department, the principals, need to show Ubuntu to our learners, demonstrate the Ubuntu to our learners in terms of respect of their rights, and also encouraging relationship, encouraging working together with other learners. And Ubuntu can build our nation and can make sure that our nation is on top. And Ubuntu is very important in order to be integrated into a country. It means it will motivate learners, relationship with the teachers, relationship with other stakeholders. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. If any participants have any questions regarding the presentation, they can ask or they can put their query in the chat box.
Let me just check.
Okay. So moving ahead with the conference.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you so much. So the second presenter for this conference is Yasmin Sophia, School of Business Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, Bandung, Indonesia. And her topic of the presentation is Painting the Canvas of Collaboration, Exploring Stakeholder Dynamics in Indonesian Food Banks. I would request you to read the abstract given on the screen. Due to unforeseen circumstances, she has not been joined the meeting yet. So we are moving ahead with the conference. Our next presenter is Jivantram Govindan, Department of Marketing and Retail Management, Durban University of Technology, Durban, South Africa. And his topic of presentation is Consumer Purchase Intention and Purchase Behavior for Green Fast Moving Consumer Goods. I would like to request to the participants to read the abstract from the given screen. Also, he has not joined the meeting yet. We are moving ahead with the conference. Our next presenter for this conference is Keisha Nabila Putri, Faculty of Business and Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, Bandung, Indonesia. And her topic of presentation is an analysis of how brand value perception and the meditating role of brand attachment impacts purchase behavior towards luxury fashion brands in Indonesia. Please track the abstract given on the screen.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keisha Nabila Putri from School of Business and Management in Bandung Institute of Technology, and today I will be presenting my study about how brand value perceptions and the mediating role of brand attachment impacts purchase behavior towards luxury fashion brands in Jakarta. For introduction, a previous literature found that consumers from many generations in Indonesia have regarded the global brand phenomenon as a good thing, where they attempted to elevate their status in society by using the power of the brand. If the brand appears promising and depicts a wealthy lifestyle, they may be influenced by the brand and have access to a high-status social circle. The focus of this research is to understand how Indonesians, especially those who live in Jakarta, connect with brands, especially considering the role of brand attachment, particularly where high-end retailers such as Louis Vuitton, Cartier, Hermes, Gucci, Longchamp, and Prada have established their presence in Jakarta. After the explanation before, it will be interesting to investigate the consumer perceptions of the value of luxury goods, brand attachment, and purchase intention, as well as the influence they have on actual purchasing behavior. So after identifying the problem, two research questions are formed. The first one is, what is the relationship between consumers' perception of luxury fashion brands and their purchase intention in Jakarta? And the second one is, what is the role of brand attachment in forming consumers' actual purchase behavior towards luxury brands in Jakarta? And the objective of the study is to investigate how individuals emotionally connect with high-end brands in Jakarta and to explore whether brand attachment, which acts as a mediator in the relationship between individual sentiments and their purchasing decisions. So here are some of the literature review that I found before, and here are the ones that are related to brand value perception, such as luxury fashion perception, functional value perception, personal value perception, and also social value perception. And here are the ones that are related to brand attachment, which will act as a mediator, and also purchase intention and purchase decision. Okay, so based on that literature review, this research focuses on customer perceptions of luxury values, consumer behavior, and the impact of consumer brand attachment. So the conceptual model for this study is shown here. And based on that framework, 5 hypotheses are formed. And the first one are related to brand value perception and purchase intention. With the first hypothesis is perceived personal value significantly influences consumers' purchase intention. The second one is perceived social value significantly influences consumers' purchase intention. And the third one is perceived functional value significantly influences consumers' purchase intention. The next one is related to purchase intention and actual purchase behavior, which form the fourth hypothesis. Purchase intention has a positive impact on consumers' actual purchase of luxury goods. And the last one is related to the mediating role of brand attachment, which form the fifth hypothesis. The consumer's attachment with the luxury brand mediates the relationship between purchase intention and the actual purchase of luxury goods. Okay, so for the methodological approach, the researcher is using the quantitative research because quantitative research methods allow for statistical analysis of survey responses and enabling me as a researcher to identify patterns, correlations, and trends among variables. So the first stage of the methodology will be sampling with the criteria of minimum age of 20, lives in Jakarta, and have experience in purchasing luxury fashion brands. And the second stage would be data collection, where the researcher is using the primary data with a Google form-based online survey. And so it will be in the form of questionnaire on a Likert scale of 1 to 5, where 1 equals strongly disagree and 5 equals strongly agree. And the last stage is data analysis using the SEM approach or the structural evaluation model. And this study will be utilizing the Smart PLS software. In the data processing, the study will be using the PLS SEM algorithm provided by the software itself. Okay. So the scope of the study would be 200 respondents from Jakarta that may have different experiences in purchasing luxury brands. Also, the study has some limitations due to the nature of the research questions, and consumer behavior towards fashion luxury brands could have constant changes year by year, since luxury value could also change. All right. After getting the results from the questionnaire, here are the demographic characteristics that have been collected. So there are 64% female and 36% male, with the 36 to 50-year-olds as the dominating age. Next is occupation, where most of them are government employees, followed by private employees and other occupations. And most of them also have bachelor's degree and master's degree for their educational level. Okay, so here the final stage will be data analysis, and here is the results from measurement model test, where the validity and the reliability of the questions in the questionnaire will be tested. The first one here is reflective measurement, and in this test, the validity will be performed by Cronbach alpha, composite reliability, and AVE values. The threshold for the Cronbach alpha and composite reliability are above 0.7, and for AVE is above 0.7. And as you can see here, that all the values in each category are all above the threshold, which means that the questions are valid and reliable. Next here is still the measurement model test, and this one is discriminant validity. And the generally accepted rule is that the diagonal value should be larger than all values in the same row and column. And as you can see here, in the gray area is where the diagonal value is shown. And if the square root of the AVE for a construct is greater than the correlation between that construct and any other construct in the model, then discriminant validity is supported. Okay, finally, we arrive at the result for the structural evaluation model, where we can see whether the hypothesis is accepted or no. And here we have determinant coefficient, where we can see whether the independent variables could explain the dependent variables, with the 0 value cannot explain at all, and 1 could explain significantly. And as you can see here, that the values are between 0 to 1, which means that the independent variables can explain the dependent variables. And also now we can see is the path coefficient, and we can focus on its p-values. If the p-values is below 0.05, then the hypothesis is accepted and the independent variables impacts the dependent variables in the hypothesis itself. And as you can see here, most of the p-values are 0.00. That means that the independent variables significantly impacted the dependent variables. So here are the results from path coefficient with matching it with the hypothesis that I formed before. And the conclusion would be that the personal value with hypothesis 1, the personal value significantly impacts purchase intention. Second one is social value significantly impacted purchase intention. The third one is functional value significantly impacted purchase intention. And the fourth one is purchase intention significantly impact actual purchase behavior. And the last one here, where I put brand attachment as the role of mediator, here proves that brand attachment actually have the role in between purchase intention and actual purchase behavior and is significant. So based on the results before, we can conclude that brand value perceptions exhibit a significant impact on consumers' purchase intention in Indonesia, specifically Jakarta. And the positive correlation between consumers' perception of luxury fashion brands and their purchase intention underscores the crucial role brand value plays in influencing consumer decisions. For brand attachment itself, brand attachment not only mediates the relationship between brand value perceptions and purchase intention in Jakarta, but also exerts a positive and significant impact on consumers' actual purchase behavior. So this finding highlights the transformative effect of brand attachment, indicating that the emotional bond formed with luxury brands translate into tangible actions, ultimately driving consumers to make purchases. So for recommendations and implications, here luxury fashion brands should prioritize building and communicating strong brand values to enhance consumers' perception and consequently stimulate purchase intention. Also, by recognizing the mediating role of brand attachment, the findings underscores the importance of aligning marketing efforts not only with creating a positive perception, but also with cultivating a strong emotional bond, as this is instrumental in influencing both purchase intention and actual purchase behavior. Here are the references that I use for the study. And here I attach the questionnaire questions that are given in the form, and also the references for each of the questions. Thank you for listening. I'll be closing the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Keisha. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. If any participants have any questions regarding the presentation, they can ask or they can put their query in the chat box.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out how can you infuse 4IR in your studies? And since you are talking about artificial intelligence also, how can we also include it in your studies?
Which artificial intelligence did you mention?
No, any in terms of strengthening your study.
Actually, the conclusion that I have before is actually all based on the results that I got from the data analysis. So for AI, I didn't really use AI, but maybe I used some of journal references to help me back up my answers for the conclusion itself.
Yeah, maybe also under your recommendation number 2, maybe you can consider using the technology in terms of marketing, in terms of introducing the product to the consumers and stuff, in terms of communicating with the consumers. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So moving ahead with the conference. So our next presenter for the conference is Kafila Shivana Aldafa, School of Business and Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, Bandung, Indonesia. And the topic of presentation is weight loss supplements marketing method, ethical concern, and how it influenced the consumer behavior in Indonesia. You can check the abstract given on the screen. Okay, so let's check the presentation.
Good morning. My name is Kafila Savana Aldafa, and I'm going to present my final presentation, which called Weight Loss Supplement Marketing Method, Ethical Concern, and How It Influenced the Consumer Behavior in Indonesia. So, first and foremost, the final presentation is going to be divided into 5 sections. First is the introduction, which is going to discuss the background, problem identification, research question, research objectives, and then the scope and limitation. And then the second is continued with literature review, which discuss the important ideas and previous study relevant to this research, and conceptual framework, and hypothesis development. And then continued by research methodology, which is going to discuss the research design and the data collection itself. And then the data analysis is going to discuss the hypothesis analysis, validity test, reliability tests. And lastly, this research will have a conclusion and recommendation for companies. Okay, so let's start from the background. Conventional beauty standards are formed in society through representation in social media, movies, television, or any other kind of media or entertainment. Ultimately, the general public will also want to have those kinds of bodies that are portrayed in this media. In Indonesia itself, it is estimated that 28.7% of the adult population have obesity. Many believe that weight loss supplements can help them reduce their weight to a more ideal body. Because of this phenomenon, the demand for weight loss supplements are rising and the sales have been going strong. Based on the research made by Compass in 2022, the revenue of weight loss supplements make millions and even billions revenue within 2 weeks period. However, the supplements that are sold often have underdosed ingredients, and the research that backs the supplements are mostly rat studies, which have one of the lowest pieces of evidence in the science evidence hierarchy. There are many fitness companies that sell weight loss products with unproven claims and use public figures or celebrities that previously have already have the conventional beauty standard bodies to promote their product. The research questions are: first, what is the marketing strategy used in weight loss products in order to penetrate their target consumers? And the second research question is, what are the marketing stimuli influencing the purchase intention of weight loss products? With two research objectives are as follows. And then the research scope are people that have consumed weight loss products in Indonesia. However, due to placebo effect, and there are many and numerous factors that contribute to weight loss, the participants' thoughts may be biased and subjective. Okay, so moving on to literature review. First is weight loss products. Weight loss products are supplements that consumers buy with the intention of losing their body weight. And then consumer behavior, which is human activity related to selecting, buying, using, and disposing of products, services, or ideas to satisfy personal needs and desires. And lastly is influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is a new marketing approach that has flourished in recent years given the increase in influencer follower interaction on social networking sites, such as Instagram. However, the drawbacks of influencer marketing are the high cost and the ability to measure the effectiveness of marketing campaigns. In addition, influencer credibility can be questioned if too many brands are promoted by the same influencer. Moreover, it can be very costly if companies hire the wrong influencer or KOL, key opinion leader. Key opinion leader is an individual that is well known and able to create awareness and generate content. Therefore, choosing the right KOL is very critical to weight loss companies' marketing strategy. To properly hire a KOL, companies first need to have a list of KOL candidates that they will potentially hire. The candidates should be in the field of nutrition. KOL should be an expert and has sufficient experience in a particular field. One of the mistakes that commonly happen when hiring a KOL is companies often hire based solely on their social media followers. From the conceptual framework above, the hypotheses are as follows. The first hypothesis is health influencer brand ambassador positively influences consumer behavior. The second hypothesis is health influencer endorsement positively influences consumer behavior. The third hypothesis is product benefit positively influences consumer behavior. The fourth hypothesis is evidence positively influences consumer behavior. And the fifth and last hypothesis is marketing strategy of weight loss that mentioned previously above positively influences consumer behavior. For the methodology, the researcher starts from problem identification and then literature review, continued by research methodology, and then data collection, continued by data analysis, and lastly is conclusion and recommendation. The approach for this research is quantitative, and the method is online survey using questionnaire. The data are collected from 80 respondents in Indonesia who have consumed weight loss supplements at least once in their life. The analysis will be using Pearson's validity test and convex alpha reliability test. So the survey has managed to gather of 80 respondents. As you can see, the gender are relatively equal, with the female respondents have little more than male respondents, and the age for the respondents are mostly 18 until 25 years old, with 61.2% of the respondents. For the first hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that brand ambassadors and celebrity endorsement plays a major role in determining their purchase decision. For the second hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that consumers prefer key opinion leaders that share the same value with certain products to be the brand ambassador. For the third hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that consumer pays attention to the benefits offered by weight loss supplements in ads and packaging. For the fourth hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that science-backed evidence and product review or third-party testimony has a huge role in determining consumers' purchase decision. For the fifth hypothesis, the result of the analysis is that if executed correctly, the combined marketing strategies can be very effective to attract consumers. From the validity test, all of the items are considered valid because the coefficient is greater than the R-table 5% significance of 80 respondents. From the reliability test, it can be concluded that the questionnaire is reliable. It's because the alpha value is greater than 0.6. To conclude this research, most consumers firstly discover weight loss supplements from celebrity endorsement and social media discussion. Celebrity endorsement has been proven very effective. However, the kinds of KOLs should not be chosen carelessly, as consumers much prefer KOL that are suitable with the product branding. And then from the analysis, it can be concluded that health influencer brand ambassador, health influencer endorsement, product benefit, and evidence all positively influences the consumer behavior. Therefore, for the fifth hypothesis, marketing strategy of weight loss supplements positively influences the consumer behavior. There are several suggestions for weight loss companies. The first one is when weight loss companies sign public figure as their brand ambassador, their followers have more tendency to purchase the product because they trust, believe, and want to be similar or identified with a certain public figure. For example, Tokopedia is using BTS as their brand ambassador and it influenced the purchase decision of the consumer in a positive way. The second is companies should sign brand ambassadors that are already in the field of diet, nutrition, and fitness. The real-life example taken in this research is Deddy Corbuzier being the brand ambassador of Slim Tea. Deddy Corbuzier is chosen as their brand ambassador because of his personal branding in social media, in which he often posts about fitness and nutrition. The third one is fitness companies should become more transparent about their products, such as listing all the ingredients and the dosage clearly to avoid misunderstanding, and otherwise, the products can no longer be sold in the market and the companies will face lawsuits from BPOM. The fourth one is use social media discussion to increase brand awareness because it helps consumers that are looking up weight loss products on the internet to decide which product they are going to buy. Consumers will easily look at the result of the discussion on which products are the best to buy. This is proven by Flimty's strategy of using social media to share quality information about their products and nutrition in general. This will be perceived by the consumers as if the company is truly willing to assist the consumers in achieving their goal, thus increasing consumer trust on company. The fifth one is fitness companies also should not sacrifice quality and safety for price value. Nowadays, consumers are willing to spend more money on products that have more overall quality. So if weight loss products are genuinely effective, it will be potentially given a good review by many consumers. The last but not least is weight loss companies should make realistic and achievable claims on their product. In social media, there are many people that call out weight loss products or companies that the claims are not backed on scientific research, which can lead to be bad publication. So that is all from me today. Thank you for your attention. I am here really open for feedbacks and suggestions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. If any participants have any questions regarding the presentation, they can ask or they can put the query in the chat box. Okay, so moving ahead with the conference. Our next presenter is Vicky Pahelvi, School of Business Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, Bandung, Indonesia. And the topic of presentation is understanding the influence of sales of luxury products in the fashion sector that have been made by French companies. You can check the abstract from the given screen. Okay, let's see the video presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vicky Palevi. You can call me Vicky. Today, I want to present my research paper. The title is Understanding the Influence of Sales of Luxury Products in the Fashion Sector that have been made by French company. Why did I choose this topic? This is because luxury products, especially fashion products, can increase self-esteem or provide a sense of belonging and accomplishment for myself. Acquiring luxury products, especially fashion products, gives me a sense of satisfaction with my life. The next one is abstract. The purpose of this bachelor dissertation is to investigate how French companies selling luxury products in the fashion sector can influence customer perceptions, the significance of luxury products, business practice improvement, and the attraction of potential customers. The study concludes with actionable marketing strategy recommendations to enhance customer acquisition and build a sustainable brand image for luxury products, especially fashion products. The next one is the list of interview that I will present today. So the next one is introduction. French companies focus on luxury products, especially fashion products, and maintain a reputation for top-class quality. French companies must understand their customers' desires and focus on enhancing the quality of their luxury products in the fashion sector. The next one is examples of luxury products in the fashion sector. The first picture is bags from Hermes. The second picture is clothes from Chanel. The third picture is shoes from Dior. The last picture is bags from Louis Vuitton. The next one is problem statement. The demand for product sales and performance, especially luxury products, in the fashion sector has been identified as one of the main factors in developed countries, which is changing very rapidly at this time. While product quality and customer perception play a crucial role, direct link between sales and product performance requires further exploration. The next one is research objective. The research focuses on understanding the influence of selling luxury products in the fashion sector by French companies and aims to identify ways for French companies to enhance their products and attract larger customer base. The next one is literature review. Literature review conceptually explains the important ideas used in the research. It will explain about how French companies achieve their goals, like getting a lot of income and customers in selling luxury products, especially fashion products. The next one is theoretical framework. The theoretical framework of the research aligns with chosen theory supported by available data. The next one is research framework. As you can see from right one is the variable X. The first variable is the context of negotiation. The second one is customer acquisition. The third one is strong relationship. The last one is Boolean trust. As you can see from the left one, this is variable Y. Variable Y is sales of luxury products. The next one is methodology. I chose the quantitative method because this would be easy for me to recognize their suitability for answering specific research questions, especially in exploring customer attraction to luxury products in the fashion sector from French companies. The next one is data collection. The main tool used for information gathering in this practical research is the questionnaire. Why did I choose the questionnaire for data collection? This is because it would be easy to determine samples and question types. The next one is survey questions. Response from respondents uses Likert scale starting from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. The next one is sampling. The analysis unit for this research focuses on the criteria of customers who are interested in luxury products, especially fashion products, and uses a customer behavior approach. The sample comprises 100 respondents who are interested in luxury products, especially fashion products from French companies. The next one is demographic results. According to this pie chart, the highest percentage from gender is male with 58%. The highest percentage from occupation is college student with 52%. The highest percentage from age is 18 until 30 years old with 53%. The next one is variable results. The following are the results of respondents filling out a questionnaire which aims to determine customer interest in luxury products, especially fashion products. The survey method is used to collect opinions from the respondent base. The information and data that have been collected will be discussed in the next slide. The next one is the context of negotiation. This is the first variable X. Overall, the result of mean from the context of negotiation is 4.09. It means that respondents agree about all statements. The next one is validity from the context of negotiation. As you can see, coefficient correlations from all statements are bigger than R table with a value of 0.196. It means that all statements are valid. The next one is customer acquisition. This is the second variable X. Overall, the result of mean from customer acquisition is 3.895. It means that respondents neutral about all statements. The next one is validity from customer acquisition. As you can see, coefficient correlations from all statements are bigger than R table with a value of 0.196. It means that all statements are valid. The next one is strong relationship. This is the third variable X. Overall, the result of mean from strong relationship is 4.128. It means that respondents agree about all statements. The next one is validity from strong relationship. As you can see, coefficient correlations from all statements are bigger than R table with a value of 0.196. It means that all statements are valid. The next one is building trust. This is the fourth variable X. Overall, the result of mean from building trust is 4.095. It means that respondents agree about all statements. The next one is validity from building trust. As you can see, coefficient correlations from all statements are bigger than R table with a value of 0.196. It means that all statements are valid. The next one is sales of luxury products. This is the variable Y. Overall, the result of mean from sales of luxury products is 4.11. It means that respondents agree about all statements. The next one is validity of sales of luxury products. As you can see, coefficient correlations from all statements are bigger than R table with a value of 0.196. It means that all statements are valid. The next one is reliability analysis. As you can see, the scores of Kronkaba alpha from variables are bigger than critical value with a value of 0.60. It means that all variables are reliable. The next one is the results of hypothesis. The next one is the hypothesis result for the context of negotiation. The coefficient of regression for the variable to the context of negotiation is 0.306. The significance level is 0.761, which is greater than 0.05. Based on the above results, you can conclude that H01 was accepted and HA1 was rejected. It means that there is no impact or significant contribution from the context of negotiation to luxury products, especially fashion products. The next one is the hypothesis results for customer acquisition. The regression coefficient for the variable of customer acquisition is minus 2.205. The significance level is 0.030, which is less than 0.05. From the above results, it can conclude that H02 was rejected and HA2 was accepted. It means that there is a positive impact or significant contribution from customer acquisition to luxury products, especially fashion products. The next one is the hypothesis result for strong relationship. The regression coefficient for the variable of strong relationship is 0.160. The significance level is 0.873, which is greater than 0.05. From the above results, it can conclude that H03 is accepted and HA3 is rejected. It means that there is no impact or significant contribution from strong relationship to luxury products, especially fashion products. The next one is the hypothesis result for building trust. The regression coefficient for the variable of building trust is 43.199. The significance level is 0.000, which is less than 0.05. From the above results, you can conclude that H04 was rejected and HA4 was accepted. It means that there is a positive impact or significant contribution from building trust to luxury products, especially fashion products. Next one is conclusion for my research paper. The study highlights the importance of customer engagement, acquisition, and building trust for the success of luxury products in the fashion sector sold by French companies. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. If any participants have any questions regarding the presentation, they can ask and they can put your query in your chat box. Okay, so moving ahead with the conference. Our next presenter is Zhidong Jiao, Key Laboratory of Urban Security and Disaster Engineering, Ministry of Education, Faculty of Architecture, Civil and Transportation Engineering, Beijing University of Technology, Beijing, China. And the topic is understanding the influence of sales of luxury projects in the fashion sector that have been made by the French companies. I would like to check the abstract. You can see the abstract given on the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to request you to present your presentation.
Dear experts and scholars, I'm honored to participate in this conference. I'm a doctoral student majoring in civil engineering at Beijing University of Technology, China. My research focus is on the intelligent operation and maintenance of buildings. The title of my presentation today is Research and Application of Sustainable Intelligent Operation and Maintenance of Large Public Buildings based on digital twins. Now I will begin my presentation. We conducted comprehensive research and analysis on large public buildings, which refer to single building structures with a total floor area exceeding 20,000 square meters, combining the content of the Unified Standard for Civil Building Design in China and comprehensive applications. Building types can be classified into 5 categories: low-rise buildings, high-rise buildings, super high-rise buildings, underground buildings, and transportation functional buildings, as shown in figure. Our current research scenario mainly focuses on low-rise buildings. In the process of building operation and maintenance, there are several characteristics, including complex work zones, multiple devices, high personnel flow, and large inspection workload. Digital twins are considered a more comprehensive solution to the operation need and research of large public buildings. It is an intelligent digital system that fully utilizes models and data, integrating artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analysis. The research focused on the operation and maintenance of large public buildings, integrating digital twins, deep learning, and BEAM technology. It extracts the application connotation and the characteristic of digital twin technology, studies the boundary conditions and the integration fusion technology of models at various levels, correlates logical relationship of massive operation and maintenance data, conducts precise mapping, forms new methods for predicting and controlling sustainable building operation and maintenance, iterates and applies the model in a sustainable manner. Intelligent operation and maintenance are data-driven. Therefore, in the first phase, we studied the mechanism of sustainable intelligent operation and maintenance of buildings, including the 6 aspects mentioned above. Combining these principles with digital twin technology, we organize a comprehensive information chart of the operation and maintenance process, encompassing all essential elements. Based on the specific focus areas of each building, we proceeded to establish sustainable digital twin operation and maintenance systems. Next, we established a sustainable digital twin framework for building infrastructure. On the basis of the traditional digital twin operation and maintenance framework, the blue count, we emphasized the sustainability attribute of each part to form a sustainable digital twin operation and maintenance framework. We also established a digital twin model of building infrastructure as shown in the expression below. According to the expression, we established a digital twin model of sustainable building infrastructure. The two parts using virtual loops in the figure implement sustainable links. First, emphasize on the analysis of data related to energy consumption during the data processing process. Second, the application part emphasizes sustainable development management, explores potential event factors affecting energy consumption, and introduces them into data collection to achieve model iteration and correction. The model is data-driven, and the data analysis process is the main research part of the current intelligent operation and maintenance process. The figure below shows a large public building sustainable digital twin operation and maintenance model, which is logically drawn based on data. It establishes a parameterized size model of the building, the correlation of event data, and the correlation of energy consumption data, enabling energy saving strategies to be predicted based on data, and the impact factors of prediction errors to be traced, allowing the model to self-iterate and sustainably apply. For predicting energy-related events, we utilize the Bayesian formula to calculate probabilities. In cases where causal relationships are known, we obtain the probability of events through the chain rule. From another perspective, we can compare these probabilities with previous data to determine whether maintenance or other intervention are necessary for equipment. After determining the event data, we employ the random forest algorithm to focus building energy consumption. This approach allows us to make informed discussion about energy management and maintenance based on data-driven insights. In the validation phase, we use the Beijing Olympic Badminton Gymnasium as an example to establish a digital twin system, enabling dynamic simulation and data acquisition. We collected information on personnel, indoor and outdoor temperatures, equipment status, campus activities, and so on. As shown in the displayed data, data related to operation and maintenance events were obtained through interview with on-duty personnel. We calculated event probabilities based on the Bayesian network model. Using machine learning, we assign weights to factors that affect energy consumption and rank them, thereby determining the correlation between energy consumption and these factors. Subsequently, we perform energy consumption predictions with an average prediction accuracy of 95.6%, indicating the reliability and usability of the model. Following this, we leverage prediction to trace back the factors influencing energy consumption. Among the 7 anomalies identified by the model, 6 of them have identified causes, while 1 remains unexplained. This approach effectively allows us to trace the influencing factors. In future research, we will continue to explore more precise methods for factor identification, enabling the implementation of automated energy saving strategies based on predictions. This concludes my presentation. I hope to receive valuable feedback and look forward to the opportunity to collaborate with researchers in related fields. Thank you all.
Thank you for your outstanding presentation. If any participants have any questions regarding the presentation, they can ask or they can put their query in the chat box. Okay, so moving ahead with the conference. So Khalid Al Sufyani, University of Technology, Malaysia, Sohar, Malaysia.
Yes, hello.
Thank you for joining.
I enjoy with us with our for listener. Not I don't have a presentation.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much. With great pleasure and enthusiasm, I would like to conclude that the conference was a great success. Many people have contributed in different ways to turn this event into a smoothly running conference with very interesting presentations. The conference has resulted in good discussion and networking. I owe my gratitude to all the presenters and patient listeners, to the coordinator and the whole staff of Eurasia Research for their constant support. I would also like to thank all the universities and institutes who have sponsored our participants and people who have directly or indirectly contributed in the smooth conduct of this conference. So our upcoming conference is Eurasia Research Conduct Conference around the world. So our upcoming conference is December 2023 in Bangkok, January 2024 in Paris, 2024 Feb in Dubai. Please refer to your friends and colleagues. At last, I would like to ask for the conference feedback. Khalid Al Sufyani, please share your feedback.
Sorry, can again repeat?
Please share your feedback for the conference.
I think Bangkok.
Okay. Jennifer Reyes.
Oh, yes. The presentations are all good. It add additional knowledge and learning on my part. The presenters know their paper, and I would like to commend them all. And Eurasia Research. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Jedong, Keisha, please share your feedback for the conference.
The meeting is great, and the process was very smooth, and I learned lots of new things. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for the feedback. We wish you a great day.